I'm here with Adam Pasick in Davos, and we are close to Second Life. Are we real or virtual, Adam, here?
I guess it depends on how you look at it. Is there really a difference?
Well, I don't know. It looks still pretty real. I mean, so what have you been doing here for the entire week in Davos?
So I'm the Reuters bureau chief in Second Life, virtual world, and for the last week I've been doing interviews from the World Economic Forum in Davos. I'm here in the real world, obviously, but we're streaming the interviews into Second Life, and we're interviewing the delegates at the World Economic Forum. So once we have the avatars in Second Life, that's the character that you are in the world. There are people in the audience that are also in Second Life. Anyone can join. And then they can ask questions of the delegates. So people who could never get to Davos and ask a question in person can do it in Second Life.
So how many people did you have in the room coming in from Second Life?
It varied a lot. For some we only had a handful, and others we had a full house, so up to 50.
So who was the Davos participant who had the full house?
Oh, well, I hate to play favorites, but I have to admit that it was Ariana.
Just between us.
It was Ariana Huffington.
Probably she vlogged before to warn everybody, right?
She has a built-in audience, I think.
Right. So can you explain how you've been doing the interviews? How does it work for the people who are not familiar with Second Life? Can you explain what you've been explaining to the participants?
Sure. So it's pretty simple. We record the audio here in Davos, and we stream it into Second Life. And so the people in Second Life are listening to the audio of the real people talking, and they're watching our avatars at the same time.
So and do we need, because I see a lot of gear, right? It's you have high-end cameras, there's a plasma screen just to show, right? But so can anybody do that easily, or?
We did it in a probably overly complicated way, but I think anyone who has the ability to stream some sound from their computer, which is not very difficult these days, could do the same thing.
So you just open a Second Life account, and then you can stream like with those Macs with the webcams inside. It's straightforward.
It might be a little bit more complicated than that. You have to have a server that is sending the audio in, so you can't go directly from your computer.
All right, let's not get into details. Anything interesting that happened during the conversations with the participants and the virtual Second Life residents who came here?
I did accidentally break news a couple of times in the real world.
Oh, well, give us examples.
I was interviewing the San Francisco mayor, a guy named Gavin Newsom, who's relatively famous because he tried to issue some gay marriage certificates a couple of years ago in San Francisco. It was later overturned in court. And he told us, we were talking about 3 U.S. presidential candidates, or possible candidates, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and Al Gore. And what Mayor Newsom said was that since this happened with the gay marriage thing, one of those 3 candidates, he wouldn't say which one, refuses to be photographed or seen with him in any circumstance.
That's news, interesting.
Yeah, I thought so.
So how do you feel? You're a journalist too, right?
Yeah, I'm a journalist only, really. That's all I am. I just happen to be doing it in Second Life.
So how do you feel about Second Life and the way it's going to change both journalism and, let's say, amateur reporting?
Well, Second Life changed journalism. I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm doing the same journalism that I was doing before. So the same standards, the same methods, the same techniques. I just happen to be doing it in this virtual world. Frankly, it's a great beat to have. There's a lot of great stories. Everything's growing so fast and changing so quickly that it's kind of a dream job.
How much time do you spend in Second Life yourself, in normal life?
Probably too much. But at least
come on, tell me. Nobody listens to us.
At least I'm getting paid for it.
I bet, I trust your management will not see that, Adam. You can tell us everything.
I would guess that I probably spend maybe 2 to 3 hours on average.
A day?
A weekday.
Yeah, okay. So what do you feel so interesting in it?
The main thing that I'm looking at in Second Life is the economy and the business sector. I mean, one of the most interesting things about Second Life, and the main reason that Reuters thought it would be a good idea to open a bureau there, is that it has its own economy, it has its own currency, it even has its own central bank. And it's not play money. The Linden dollar, which is the currency in Second Life, can be exchanged for the U.S. dollar. So you can make money in the virtual world, cash out, and go buy something with it.
So what's happening in the Reuters bureau in Second Life?
Well, we're covering things like the financial statistics that are put out by Second Life, so kind of the equivalent of the, the Federal Reserve inflation rates, things like that. I'm writing about people opening up new businesses. I've written about people.
So you write in Second Life, or you write outside for Reuters about Second Life?
Well, I don't write about it. I write about what happens in it. I may not be logged on to Second Life when I'm writing, but that's kind of besides the point. But I'm writing for Second Life residents. I'm writing for the people in the world. Anyone can read it, but they're my target audience.
So, how do we find you in Second Life, Adam? Both you and the Reuters Bureau.
All right, well, my name in Second Life is Adam Reuters, so you can search for that and find me very easily. Send me an instant message or come to the Reuters Islands. On the web, you don't have to log into Second Life. You can go to secondlife.reuters.com. You can see all the stories I've written. You can see all the video of the interviews that I've done in Davos, and you can see what the exchange rate is today.
Last question, Adam. How do you see the future? How do you see it in like 5-10 years? Because this is pretty, like the graphics are not fantastic yet compared to like World of Warcraft. So how do you see it evolving?
I don't know about 5 or 10 years. I don't know where Second Life is going to look like in 5 or 10 months. And even 5 or 10 weeks is a bit of a stretch. I think that the graphics are going to get better. Hopefully the user experience will become a little more easy, because a lot of people try Second Life, they go in, they don't know what to do, and they never come back. So hopefully they'll find a better way to kind of bring people in. But in the medium term, I think things are going to keep growing. They seem to be able to manage the growth reasonably well. So I think it's heading on that upward trajectory.
Thanks, Adam. So we'll find you in Second Life.
My pleasure.